Mrs. Rogers, you are the widow of Donald Rogers, are you not? I am. How old are you now? I will be 32. At the time that this accident happened, that is, in 1948, you were then about 28 years old? That is correct. Was your husband of the same age, or was he older? He was 29. Did you know your husband for some time before you and he were married? Approximately 3.5 years before. During that 3-year period, were you in touch with him, and can you tell us what his activities were during that period? He was, at that time, in the Navy aboard a battleship, and I saw him on his leaves, and of course we corresponded constantly. Do you know whether he got an honorable discharge from the Navy? Yes, sir, he did. He did receive an honorable discharge. Will you tell us what was his first occupation when he left the Navy? About a week or two after his discharge, he went to work for the Brooklyn Navy Yard, the naval shipyard in Brooklyn. What was this? Was it after you were married? Just a little before we got married. Do you know what kind of work he did in the shipyard? Yes, he was a rigger. You have heard the duties of a rigger described here in court while you have been sitting here, have you not? Yes, sir. And is that the kind of work that your husband was doing when he got out of the Navy? With the exception of the use of stone, he had done everything as far as rigging and derrick work was concerned. But his work was of the same general character, that is, the lifting and delivery of heavy loads by means of derrick or other contrivance. Is that right? Definitely. Can you give us some description of Mr. Rogers as to his size and weight at that time? Yes, he was 6 feet, 1 inch tall, weighed about 175 pounds. Of course, he was husky, healthy, in perfect condition physically and mentally. Is the name Dr. Brown familiar to you? Very much so. Would you state the facts and the events that led up to your husband's confinement at City Hospital? Yes, sir. About 3 or 4 weeks before April 1st, I had noticed bleeding on my husband's pillow, and I traced it to a mole that he had on his neck. Of course, we took him to the family doctor, who, in turn, recommended us to Dr. Brown at City Hospital, where he was hospitalized and underwent an operation for the removal of that mole. The first thing that you noticed was the bleeding on the back of his neck, is that right? That is correct. Did he lose much time from his work as a result of the operation? He was out 6 weeks. What did you notice about your husband's condition after he was discharged from City Hospital? He went back to work. He was definitely improved. He seemed to be in fine condition. You were informed that your husband was involved in an accident on the 23rd of June, were you not? Yes, sir. Will you tell us, that morning when he left home, what was his appearance? Was he of the same weight, the same stature? I was not home that morning. I had been up in the country to visit my mother, but had seen him 2 days before that, and I was coming on the bus. When I reached home, I was notified about the accident. Did you also learn where your husband was? Yes, sir. And did you go to the place when you found out where he was? I rushed immediately. Where did you go? Where did you rush to? I rushed to St. John's Hospital. And when you got to St. John's Hospital, did you there see your husband? Yes, sir. Did you speak to him at that time? Yes. Was he in a ward or in a private room? In a ward. How long a time did your husband remain in this hospital? 2 months and 10 days. Did you see him there daily? I did. Did you stay with him? Yes, sir. I saw him every day from morning until night. Did you give him any nursing care? I helped bathe him, feed him, and helped shave him. I tried to ease his pain the best I possibly could, since he was lying in traction. What part of his body was in traction? Both legs, and he could not move from side to side. While you were ministering to him in that way, nursing him and bathing him, did you have occasion to observe any injuries on any part of his body? Yes, sir.